After 6 long months of paperwork, chasing solicitors, and the usual doses of stress, we finally got the keys to our new home. Well, keys is a generous word. The barn doesn't actually have doors, and the gate just has a combination lock, but still, it was ours. We still don't know what that key was for. It was July when we arrived, and the weeds had completely taken over. We couldn't even pull our van up on the drive. So off to Facebook Marketplace we went, and came back with a trusty strimmer. We hacked away at the entrance and carved out a little path around the barn. Definitely a job for a bigger machine one day, but at the time we had no idea what was hiding under the jungle of grass, so we took it slow. Next on the list was the power shed, the heart of our off-grid setup. We picked a spot above the house, next to a bit of land that would catch the sun perfectly for our solar panels. But first, we had to level the ground, which meant building a terrace and a retaining wall. I thought, easy, a weekend job. Spoiler, it took 6 weeks. One of the many lessons we've learned so far is everything takes longer than you think. Next, the Borehole company arrived and drilled 64 meters down. Apparently, we now have enough water for 2 farms, though we can't actually pump any of it out yet, but hey, it's waiting for us. The place we picked for the borehole was very close to where we were going to eventually have our watershed. The watershed is where we're going to put all of the water equipment for pumping, storing, filtering, and later on, distributing the water to our home. Then a soil investigation team came to figure out what kind of foundations we'd need for the house. They finished early and let us responsibly play with the digger for a while. We didn't exactly achieve anything with it, but it was great practice and a little bit of fun. Once the power shed terrace was done, we moved on to preparing a base for the watershed. The spot we chose was much flatter, so that retaining wall went up a lot quicker. We prepped both bases with sand, a damp-proof membrane, and shuttering, ready for concrete. Now, concrete day. We had no idea what to expect. We'd only watched YouTube videos, and let's just say nothing prepares you for how chaotic, exhausting, and messy it really is. Concrete everywhere. But we did it, and we're still proud of how it turned out. With the bases set, we started building our very first shed. The walls went up slowly. It was our first time timber framing, and the mud, the weight of the wood, and my questionable arm strength didn't exactly help. But somehow we got it done, and we were so proud of what we built. Then came the roof. Our temporary tarp was collecting so much water and freezing into blocks of ice that we couldn't wait any longer. So we battled through ice pellets and freezing wind to get that roof on. Pro tip: mastic and sticky foam tape are not much fun in the wet and cold. Once the roof was up, it was time to waterproof the walls. We started installing battens and cladding. But as we've learned, priorities always shift. So before we finished the cladding, we switched over to building the watershed. The watershed was a bit bigger than the power shed, so the walls were heavier, but the ground was flatter and we actually kind of knew what we were doing this time. It went up with much less hassle, and the roof, much smoother. We measured properly, peeled off the ridiculous sticky film before installing, and didn't have ice pellets attacking our faces this time. Then came the cladding, and while we still made our fair share of mistakes, we ended up with a second shed that looked fantastic, as long as you don't look too closely. With both sheds built, roofed, and waterproofed, we finally turned our attention to doors. Up until then, our power shed had been covered with a damp-proof membrane flap, which kept blowing off, letting rain in and leaving us mopping puddles in December. So, in true fashion, we binge-watched door-building videos on YouTube, learned how to half-lap, create braces, and chisel recesses. To our shock, we ended up with a solid door that fits perfectly, didn't stick, and didn't squeak. Looking back now, I'm not sure what I'm most proud of, but that first door is definitely up there. It might not seem like much watching at home, but to us, having a fully waterproofed shed with a door that won't blow away and somewhere dry to store things was a huge milestone. And that's what we've managed in just 6 months on the land, with full-time jobs and trying to learn everything as we go. From clueless concrete pourers to hand-built doors that actually open, we've come a long way. Thanks so much for cheering us on with your comments and kindness. Let's see what chaos and progress the next 6 months bring.